What's up? Today we are unboxing and playing Slain for the PlayStation Vita. Alright, so we're going to be checking out Slain for the PlayStation Vita. This is from Signature Edition Games, and I always forget just how many limited print companies we had releasing Vita games near the end. And it's all because of limited run games. Imagine, if it weren't for limited run, that library of Vita games back there would be a lot smaller. We had Signature Edition games, strictly limited games, Red Art games, of course, then East Asia Soft and Limited Run themselves. So that's a lot of different companies. It's too bad, we didn't really have very many from Signature Edition, Red Art, or strictly limited. But I am appreciative of the few games that we did get from them. Can't believe how long I've had this without opening it yet. Anyway, here's the box. On the front here, it's got a little, this is the thing, it's got a little guitar pick that says it includes the full heavy metal CD and soundtrack and exclusive developer's art book. I'm surprised it didn't actually come with a guitar pick. It's got that pictured on the front there. All right, inside, hey, we got the game right there, right on the spine. Of course, this was only available from Signature Edition. You couldn't get this like a Japanese release or anything else. There was no North American release either. At least on the Vita anyway. All right, that looks like everything in there. All right, so this is the exclusive developer's art book. Here we have some nice sprite art, character profiles, and a logo. Some really dark artwork here. I love this cottage. It reminds me of something from an early point-and-click adventure game. Oh yes, and of course we're gonna have a bit of blood and gore here too. This has such a Symphony of the Night vibe, but obviously more gory. Here's a character sheet. Concept art. Level art. Now, I don't know if they were experimenting with colors here or what. We got different colored backgrounds. More concepts. Yeah, really cool developer's art book. Now here is the soundtrack, and this soundtrack is really heavy. It's on a cardboard stock jewel case. We've got 20 tracks. Pretty cool. Let's see what we got behind here. Oh, just a tiny bit of art behind the CD. All right, and then we have the game. So there's not a whole lot to this Signature Edition, but that's what originally kept the costs pretty low on this. This is pretty affordable, which I like to see, All right, here is the game case, the PEGI rating. Inside, we just have a game card. No manual, no reversible art. All right, well, let's check it out. All right, so for gameplay, it is an action platformer with quite a bit of combat. Some of the enemies can be a little tough. You'll need to get the hang of dodging, blocking, charging attacks, and using magic as you get further in. Now, this game looks a lot like a Metroidvania. I totally thought it was going to be one from the screenshots, but it definitely isn't. There's no experience or leveling up mechanic, and for the most part, the levels are pretty linear. The detailed 2D sprite art with lots of special effects and combat tricked me here. It looks very much like Symphony of the Night or other similar titles. So it is a little bit on the difficult side with some advanced combat and lots of hidden tricky traps, but fortunately there are frequent checkpoints to make up for that. It's always really interesting to see which gory ways you can die in the many different types of traps scattered throughout the levels. Fortunately, there's always some sort of tell to let you know that it's there, but you'll probably end up dying the first time you encounter any of these, at least until you know what to look for. So you have your standard weapon attack, you have a little scoot backwards dodge move, very much like in Symphony of the Night. You also have some projectile magic, different elements that you can imbue onto your sword, blocking, and you can reflect enemy projectiles by swinging your sword at them. The combat could use a little bit of work here. First of all, I don't like how your character automatically steps forward while attacking. This is frustrating. If you happen to be attacking creatures near a ledge, you could just step right off without even trying. I also don't like how there's no knockback on flying creatures, so if you jump and sword attack someone in the air, they can easily just keep flying in your direction and do some collision damage. Otherwise, I do like that they added a nice variety of things to do in combat. It's not just jump and attack. There are some simple switch puzzles that mix things up and boss fights at the end of each stage. The sprite art is gorgeous most of the time, but other times it can look really jagged and stringy, if you can tell what I mean. It's like there isn't any smoothing done on the jagged edges, and a lot of the art is long strings of pen strokes, whether it be grass, branches in the trees, or blood. Sometimes all of that jagged stringiness can lead to some really busy looking scenes. Reading the segments in between levels are especially bad, but for the most part, the game overall looks great. I have played this on both Xbox and Vita now. Performance takes a hit at times on the Vita, but it's never enough to make a significant amount of impact to where I wouldn't want to play it here. The music is hard and heavy. Some really great tracks here, but those tracks are a bit on the short side and don't lend themselves well to looping. Environmental sounds are also in the background to add to the atmosphere, like rain and howling wind. So again, for the most part, I like what they did with the audio too. Overall, I'm happy it made it to the Vita. It's a great looking and sounding game. My preference would have been for a Metroidvania, but I also understand some people might be happy to see just an action platformer for a change. Alright guys, that is going to do it for today. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I will see you later.